Hello and welcome to day 155 of playing Persona 4 Golden in real time. This series where I play through the day in the game on the same date in real life, one day at a time. Today is September 12th, so let's go ahead and see what the gang is up to today. Gang synced up to start us off. I hope you all enjoy the school trip. Don't you all feel just a bit more mature now that you visited an urban area like that? Oh, by the way, that cute bear that Yukun had on the trip, it was really adorable. I get so tempted by animals with such unique designs. Speaking of bears, their friends, the pandas, are also really cute. Do you know what they used to be called in Japanese? They were called black and white bears and divided color bears, a perfect description of how they look. The mixed colors, so exotic, it's so delightful. You need to do some exotic things to become adults anyway, hehehe. I don't know how she still works here. You listen to the lecture intently. Why? Your knowledge has increased. I'm just gonna pretend it was because there's oh, she's gonna slip up something that we can make some excuse to get her fired, but classes have ended for today. Have the incidents finally been resolved? Alright, let's go ahead, go do some work at the daycare. So let's go ahead, go into town, get to central shopping districts, and take the bus. It's the bus stop. You can work at the daycare center today. You feel your relationship with Eri will deepen. Take the bus to the hill overlooking town for daycare work? Let's do it. You decide to work at the daycare center. Hopefully, they're kind of bonding a little bit. Hopefully they're doing a bit better than the last time we saw them. You helped out at the daycare center. Stop it. Don't hit Masaki-chan. That's not Masaki. That's Phoenix Ranger Featherman R's enemy in disguise. Then I quit playing Phoenix Ranger Featherman R. Okay, Yuta's being a bit stand-up guy. It looks like Yuta is protecting a girl. Once again, the children tug at you from all directions. Your understanding has increased. Yeah, I understand that it's the enemy in disguise. You decide to escort Eri and Yuta part of the way home. Oh, okay, I guess she actually showed up on time this time. Oh, Minami-san, you're with Yuta-kun. I'm going to play by the river. And off he goes.
Oh, hello.
Nakamura-sensei. Oh, I apologize for the trouble Yuta caused at school. The woman seems to be a teacher at Yuta's school. No, Yuta just visits to cause chaos and he goes, alright, I'm gonna go back to my actual school. Yuta-kun really is rambunctious. You can tell how he was raised. Oh, pretty judgmental, but okay. Oh, who is this? He seems a bit young to be your husband. Well, I can just, lie and go along with it. Let's just be honest. I mean, we are Yu Narukami, but I don't think that's gonna mean anything to her. Let's say I'm a daycare assistant. Oh, I see. Looking after Yuta-kun's a tough job, isn't it? Even so, he's quite young. I guess people from the city are different from us country people. I guess it can't be helped that Yuta-kun has turned out this way. Yeah, I'm kind of understanding the area a little more, which I did not expect. It's so burdensome to make extra lesson copies for him. I have to use my private time for that, you know? Well, I suppose it's all part of my job. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I thought she was gonna stop at I. If it was just his grades, that would be one thing, but then there's a slight violent streak too. It's easy to laugh off now, but eventually it'll turn into bullying. Little does you know that he actually stood up to stop bullying, which leads to delinquency, which in turn leads one day into crime. Well, I must be on my way. I'm sorry to have bothered you. I mean, she doesn't feel that sorry. All of the other mothers of children in Yuta's class respect Miss Nakamura as a good teacher. They all gossip about me because I'm a second wife and an outsider. And you know how Yuta is, right? So, it's impossible for me to make any friends here. If only he was a more studious child. Ooh, I can just say it's your own fault. Let's go ahead and say it's not his fault. Then what? It's all my fault? I'm doing my best, and yet I mean, we can blame the husband, that's an option. I'm fed up. I'm just sick of it all. Why does this always happen to me? Eri started crying. Alright, getting pretty intense. Don't bully Mom! It wasn't me, it was the teacher! Oh my god, he actually hit me! Yuuta punched you as hard as he could. Wow. This is going a very unexpected day. I thought we were supposed to be bonding. Are you alright? I just had something in my eye, Yuuta. Mr. Yu wasn't bullying me.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but thank you. This is when I'm like, you know, his violent streak, it's fine for now, but it's gonna turn into delinquency and one-day crime, and then just stroll off, catch up with the teacher. I guess I'm happy. Eri is smiling through her tears. You feel that your bond with Eri has tightened. Okay, Yuuta, hit me again, we gotta max this out. The Young Mother social link has reached level 8. Your power to create personas of the Temperance Arcana has grown.
Then I'll see you again.
Bye now. I'll see you again at the daycare center. Let's go home, Yuuta. You finished your job and went home, completely unfazed by any punches you may have been hit with. You earned 10,000 yen from your daycare job. Alright, pretty eventful shift.
Good evening, and welcome to Nightline's special Night Watch report. A suspect in the murders in Inaba was safely arrested recently, but what few people know is that the mastermind who brought him to justice was a high school detective. Tonight's report will focus on this detective prince, Naoto Shirogane, whose handsome looks are sweeping the nation. Thanks for being on the show.
No.
Oh, he's actually live. I thought that was just like a photo for reference. Naoto is on TV.
Oh, his uniform's the same as yours.
First, congratulations to you and the police for your recent arrest of the culprit. It was well known that there were a lot of mysteries surrounding this case, and you did a great job clearing them up.
I'd hesitate to say that the matter is cleared up as such. It's true that our suspect was behind Mr. Muraoka's unfortunate death, but when I cast my eye over the case as a whole, I detect a few things that seem out of place.
Oh? Like what?
Unfortunately, I cannot divulge details at this time, but this matter claimed the lives of 3 people. Hence, I believe even the smallest inconsistency must be investigated.
I don't know what you're talking about. We found the suspect. He's arrested. Everything's good now.
In light of the police's official statement. Now for our next segment, the Detective Prince's true identity, where Naoto-kun tells us a little bit about himself. Amazingly, the Detective Prince has solved a whopping 24 cases. 16 of them were...
There's a detective at your school? When I'm older, I'm gonna go to your school too.
The breezy evening passes. Alright, that's gonna wrap up the gameplay portion of today and bring us on to shuffle time. So, today's card is the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. Let's go ahead and see what that means fate has in store for us. Queen of Swords reversal meaning. The Queen of Swords reversed meaning is that you may be thinking too much with your heart, and you are becoming too emotionally involved with your current situation. You have to start thinking more objectively, because your emotions could lead you astray. Take the time to look at the situation using various facts and use your head to create a clearer picture of what is really going on. Only then can you decide what your next move should be. When reversed, the Queen of Swords can also be quite bitter, cold-hearted, or resentful. You may have started to isolate yourself for a number of reasons, but the outside world could be taking this in the wrong way. You may have some explaining to do, especially if your relationships end up being stressed by your desire for solitude. Okay. I feel like this is another card that I kind of feel like doesn't really relate to me, or I'm not exactly the person who needs to hear it, because I feel like I'm generally the opposite problem, that I'm too objective and emotionally distancing myself from things, when I think, while you definitely shouldn't make all of your decisions on the whim of your emotions at the time, I think emotions should be playing a role in your life to some extent, because it can be a good source of encouragement or motivation, and just it's definitely something you should account for in the way you live your life. And especially anger, that's something that I'm like, really want to distance myself. I'm like, this doesn't serve any purpose, but, you know, I think at times it might push you to do things that you should be doing, and, you know, I think sometimes you can just bottle up if you don't address it and let yourself experience it. But that's something that I'm still like, let's not risk it, let's just not deal with it at all. But yeah, I mean, I'm generally pretty objective, pretty logical, and that's why I make my decisions on. So, you know, I feel like I'm doing decently overall. Like, you can't really complain. But I think there's some opportunities and definitely a lot to learn about letting emotions in a bit more. But, you know, if you're having the opposite problem that you kind of feel like if you took a step back and made more objective decisions, then that would improve or give you some help. I think that's definitely something to consider, and definitely advice that is going to be relevant to certain people. And so, yeah, just think about your relationship with emotions and logic and where the balance is with it. But that's going to be another card down and another day done. Thank you guys for tuning in. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to follow along with the journey as I do this every day. By the way, thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.